So, is it time to hop in and go hack some more nerds? I think I might have adjusted with my audio levels recently when it comes to other games and such, so I don't... oh, connect my controller, please. So, I don't think my audio levels are properly adjusted for this game again. We'll see if I need to adjust things. I don't know. We shall certainly see. Anyway, I thought, like, hey, it's that freaking time of year. It's like December now, at the time of, at least at the time of streaming this. It should be by the time this gets uploaded as well, anyway. So, like, hey, how about we go into, like, a festive theme? So I set my floodlights to red, and the freaking lights around the room to green. And I thought maybe that would give, like, those kinds of, you know, holiday colors, stuff like that, I guess. I mean, those lights are normally green. I mean, I can change them to other things, but I mean... that's kind of what I was thinking or leaning towards. Something I was also thinking about potentially doing is, since I have like this did my computer freeze? Oh my goodness. Stop freezing. I'm trying to explain things here. Something else I was thinking about doing was potentially getting like a really small like Christmas tree or something like that and plopping it like right there behind me.
Are you ready to fight?
Oh, I completely forgot that we had somebody here who don't crash. Whoa. Who can randomly die. Why is my computer dying right now? Speaking of randomly dying. Hold on. Yeah, after seeing that audio, I might turn things up a few smidges like that. So that hopefully it's a little bit easier to hear or something like that. Maybe? I could even turn it up like all the way to like normal default volume. I don't know. Hello, Hawkscore. This is on time to do a stream. Never say you start a stream at 2 a.m/4 a.m. in the morning, but hello. Yeah, I had a little bit of a wacky day. We had like a team meeting for one of my classes towards the end of today, so I couldn't be streaming during then. And there... about that, about this image here, though, huh? There's, nothing wrong with this image here. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so there was a team meeting for one of my classes, like, pretty late into the day. And, well, absolutely nothing got done during the entire team meeting. And, well, it was, certainly something, to say the least. It was basically just like 2 hours of arguments and then basically nothing being done. So like, I'm probably gonna wind up doing a decent bit of this team project myself over the weekend, because I don't think that on our current schedule we're going to be able to finish our entire thing by the end. So I think I might just take on like a significant chunk of like a whole section of the assignment essentially and just like solo it and then go back to the next meeting on Monday and be like, hey, I did this, let's just use it, okay? Like, because, you know, we've only got like just over a week left to do this at this point in our schedule. Yeah, she was freaking magic. But anyway, so that happened, and then I wound up doing like some editing and stuff like that. I'm working on like a kind of Breath of the Wild video at the moment that I'm putting a lot of editing into as like a holiday special kind of thing, and we'll see how it goes. It's made me laugh a lot so far, and I hope that once I share, like, the full thing out there, it'll make a lot of other people laugh, too. So I was working on that for a while, and then I actually started playing the piano for the first time in a while, and the theme that I'm practicing right now is that theme that they made for, like, whatever event it was with Pokemon recently, where they had, like, some Pokemon Direct, and they played at the end, and it's called, like, Acadia or something like that. That's what I'm trying to learn on piano right now, and I have, like, the freaking, first verse whole thing done now, except, like, holy heck, it's hard because I've never taken any piano lessons in my life, so it's really hard to, you know, get it all down and memorize everything, and, like, so we'll see how that goes. And then I was like, okay, today's been a bit of a wacky day, let's freaking hop into Watch Dogs Legion. And I don't think there's a lot left to this. Like, I think my last interpretation was there was supposed to still be like 2 or 3 like big sets of story missions, but I checked a list of like all the missions within those main missions, and it seems like we're honestly kind of approaching the end of this, so we might be able to like finish this tonight, maybe with our person that may die permanently at any moment. We'll see. Anyway, I hope things are going well today, Hawk's Corner. Where yeah, I know this is kind of out of nowhere. I meant to do this like way earlier. I was thinking like, So a team meeting that went nowhere, that sucks. Yeah, in this group that I'm a part of for this one class, there's 4 people in our group. And what most team meetings are is mostly me and one other person bouncing ideas off of each other. And like, it's mostly silence apart from that. Like, sometimes we'll ask the other 2 for like their ideas and stuff like that. And usually it'll be like a lot of thinking about it before an answer, or a lot of silent stuff like that. So it's mostly me and one other person that are almost like dual leaders of our group, almost. And what this project is the entire class is meant on like team formation and communication and stuff like that. So for this last month, we've been doing this team project, and I don't know why the screen flashes like that. And the project that we have to do is do a presentation to our fellow students on essentially like a fake website of sorts that is supposed to be like a replacement website for this institution's site on the career opportunities that you can get from graduating like the program and such. So, and we had a lot of steps in the process of making this, way more than any project that I've ever been in. Like, we needed to make a crazy team contract that was super long. We needed to make something called a client analysis, where we basically identify, like, what imaginary people are going to come to our, like, fake website, essentially. So, like, what ways can we appeal to them to make it more interesting? And, like, what kind of colors do they like? Stuff like that. How do we make it the most engaging and such? We did a content outline where we basically like look at our client analysis and pick and just say like, this is the stuff that we wrote down in our client analysis that we're going to be using in this project and such. Is that in here that I'm going right now? Search for evidence at Tone. Oh yeah, we were looking for something that like,
I'm at the Tone bombing site.
Freaking,
you're certain this is
what's the word?
The truck from the Finsbury attack?
What's the word for something that would not be very good to get out into the public for somebody? We're gonna do that for like the Albion executive or whatever the heck, the freaking leader, whatever the heck. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. So when it comes to like this kind of fake website of sorts, the professor has said like, oh, you can make like a real website if you want, or you can just put something together in Photoshop. Just like have something where as you go through like your presentation, which will be like a PowerPoint or Google Slides or something like that, you can refer to different parts of the page or have like different screenshots of it and talk about it and like why you implemented certain things. So I started putting together like a web page within my kind of software. Since I do graphic design, I do like the thumbnails for almost every single one of my videos, for example. So I started throwing together like a kind of format, and it was like, okay, here's space for like a PowerPoint kind of slide that takes up like most of the web page. This is just a generic format, and then all of us can work together on these Google Slides, and I can just like copy paste the slide into like the format that I have, and then bam, we have a freaking web page done and done. Where the heck is this key? Over there, apparently. This is a cloak, not a spooter bot. Can I just climb over as is though? And there was a little bit of debate for a while, but whether we want to have like an actual website or the format that I've been working on, which is already like mostly done. It just needs like our kind of data of these slides that we put together, just paste it into it and then done, which would be great considering we have a week and a half left to do this. And what we still have to do is like the whole web page, which is like in progress right now, you could say. Then we have to do an entire, like, make an entire presentation start to finish. Then we need to record the entire presentation, each of us individually. And then they need to send it all to me, and I need to have time to edit it all together into a full video. All in a week and a half's time from now is that's all of what needs to be done. So, in our team meeting today, oh, look, can I grab this? I was basically like, hey, let's just put some Google Slides together. I can paste them into my document, and then that step's done, and then we can start working on the presentation, making that, because we only have like a week and a half left. But though I mentioned how like most of the meetings is mostly me and another group member kind of going back and forth and discussing ideas. Well, that group member really what's detecting me? No, stop. Really did not like the idea of me doing that thing, and really wanted to do like a Wix site. Which is like one of those platforms where you can like make your own website for people who like don't typically do web design. Oh. Hey, that's why it's all destroyed and stuff. Oh, that's into my inventory. We don't listen to it automatic. Dang it! Where? And then you have to like find it within your thing here somewhere in data. And who knows where it is. This game is definitely far from perfect.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, never mind, it's playing it.
Happens when your truck explodes. Fuck.
Never mind.
I used to see him around R&D. Did you know him?
Oh, no.
But even if I did, I wouldn't fucking talk about it. Know what I mean?
I'm detecting several optics nearby with no life signs connected.
Let's distract you, and then deactivate this for good, and then we come over this way again. Locate the driver's corpse. Ew. Anyway, so yeah, this other group member really wanted to do a Wix site and was listing off all these like advantages of doing a Wix site instead of doing like my static image thing that I'm putting together. And it was things like, oh, we can have interactive elements, and I was like, wait, we can't use interactive elements though because we're doing a presentation on it, because you know, there's going to be static images of the site on that, so it's not like anybody would be able to interact with it. What are you? There's no way you see me. Yeah. Can you get distracted maybe? And then we'll go over here. And then there was reasons like, oh, well, with a Wix site, you can, like, if you're in web design, you can present that to a potential employer if you're in web design. And I was like, if you're in web design and you show an employer a Wix site, they're not going to think you're very good at web design, considering that's a platform meant for people who don't understand web design to make a website. And then there was things like, well, what if that freaking company uses Wix then? It's like, well, freaking any company worth half their salt would not have a domain name that ends in .wix.com. Basically, whenever I would contend any point, there would be some sort of rebuttal. Usually we would have healthy discussion in our groups, but this time it was just like, whenever I'd say anything that was like, this is why that isn't like an actual advantage, and it doesn't really matter which way we do, it was just like some sort of a rebuttal that was just made up on the spot.
Yes, from the state of decay, I'd say this person died.
But yeah,
oh, right around the tone bombing. So that's one mystery solved.
Neat. Well, so basically, I think that if we get these slides done by Monday, I'm just going to paste them into my document anyway and present them to the next team meeting and be like, okay, there's 1 week left. We can have an entire presentation to do start to finish, recording the entire thing, and then sending it to me for editing with 1 week left, which is already a lot. Or we can do all of that in addition to making a new website all the way from scratch from the beginning, learning a new platform and doing that all, and then doing those other listed things, all within the course of a week, while still hopefully giving me enough time to edit it all together as like the kind of video editor for the group, which I don't really think is feasible, and I can't really see us reaching our deadlines if we do stuff like that. But yeah, it sounds really stressful, especially with 2 different views on doing it with only a week to go. And we've had different views before, but it's always been like in a healthy manner where we discuss it out and, well, I'll deactivate you again, and then come to a conclusion where it's like, okay, both sides can go with this. But this time it was like, anything that I mentioned was just like, you know, not allowed to be mentioned almost. And I was so confused. Like, I reached out to them afterwards. I was like, this isn't normally what goes on. Are you feeling okay? Did something happen? Do you need to take a break from meetings? If so, let us know. And like, as a team, we'll do our best to support you. And I never got a response, so I don't know what's going on. So that was my day today. It was literally 2 hours of just arguing back and forth, basically, and not getting anywhere in our meeting, not getting any progress done, essentially. Hello, Kishan. So it was a strange kind of thing. Welcome back to the shenanigans of freaking distracting some guards and then taking them down and then finding evidence and stuff while I rant about the stresses of the day. Is what's going on here, essentially. I went here for some, like, previous mission, didn't I? I think I did. Oh. That did not. Oh, it did disrupt. It was just late. How was my day? Super stressful. I was just ranting about how we have a group project in one of my classes right now, and a week and a half left to do like 4 things, and one of them is mostly done, but one of the group members wants to do that entire thing from the start in a different format instead of using the format we already have. And I was trying to express in our meetings today that you know, we don't have the time for this. There's no reason to do this. But uh-oh. Woo! Nope! But yeah, here's some bits to lift some of that stress. I appreciate the 6 bits there, Hawk's Corner. But yeah, what am I studying? In university, I'm studying computer programming as well as game design. I am working towards a Bachelor of Science in Computing Science. Actually, wait, well, a major in Computing Science, at least. Whoa, can I deactivate you? As well as a certificate in game design. But I had a semester in that went like, whoa! the turret's off. But I had a semester last year that went like really poorly, and then my university was like, nope, you got 0.1 GPA under what we want you to have minimum. You are freaking kicked out of this program for now. You can reapply into general sciences later. So right now, like what I've been doing recently is not actually being at my university. I'm going back to my university starting in January next year in general sciences, but this semester I've been doing open studies at a different post-secondary institution. It's not even another university. It's just like a institution that's meant for like the trades and such. So its classes are like much more hands-on and such. So
You've already deciphered
my
the
first
genius
year
you are.
of university, I went to one university. Then for 2 years I went to another university.
So this
And then I got
is
kicked out of the
supposed
program
to
for
their
that whole
courses.
thing that happened. And then I've been doing an open studies semester at this other institution, and then I'll be going back to my main university starting January next year. So at this point, I have hit all 3 major post-secondary institutions in my city. So like, maybe that's not a bad thing, and on a resume, they can look at that and be like, wow, you've literally, at least at some point, attended every single of the 3 major post-secondary institutions in this entire city. So like, that's cool at least. Even though the only reason that it happened was because of like a whole bunch of complications that is gonna make my 4-year degree take probably 6 or 7 years. But that also gives me more time to enjoy, and I'm learning to appreciate that a lot better. And see what happens with that. But yeah, so the material that has been going on at this place that I'm doing open studies at right now and will be for like the next 2 weeks, and then it'll be over, and then I'll go back to my uni again. It's been way more hands-on than I'm used to. And like, it has at least been cool trying out these 3 different kind of formats, essentially. And even if I do have group projects like this that are stressful as heck, it is still really good life experience for projects in the future when you're gonna have people that you need to work with who don't cooperate on things. Oh. I guess we're fighting you now. But yeah, so it's good experience either way, even if it's like really stressful now. Just freaking 2 more weeks to push through, and then it'll be done. Right now, we're gonna like hack some nerds or beat up this guy. Ow! So that's been that all. So yeah, my whole situation when it comes to post-secondary education in general has been one big mess, to say the least. Can I hack this from here? Nice. But no. But I'll get through it, and once these 2 weeks are done, then like, then it'll be way easier. Bro, you're trying to buy a PS5? Is it like super out of stock and such? If I had to, okay, I'll let this one play out. I'll actually not interrupt this cutscene for once this stream.
He's launched them, Mom. They're waiting up there, and no one knows. People think he'll keep them safe, but that's not what he wants. He wants control. He sent them up there to watch us. And worse, he called them Justice Themis drones. What a cruel joke. The project was dead, but he has the team re-engineering an upgrade that'll activate a systemic reboot, and you always hated it when I used my big up words. I can't let it happen. And without him, it doesn't. Mom, I'm about to do something. Something awful. Or at least
Rewatch the
people will say
Titanic
it's
movie.
awful. If they know what I know, maybe they'd think better of me. Less of a monster. But I'm trying to stop a monster, Mom. I am. If you had the chance to stop something terrible from happening by killing someone, wouldn't you do it? Something truly horrible. I'm sorry. I love you.
Oh, and then that was the crash that we learned about last stream. And he wasn't even successful in...
Dear Lord. The Themis drones have been up there the whole time, just
Up
waiting
there?
to be reprogrammed into autonomous
Oh.
assassins.
Might take months, but Cass could get the project back on its legs. Unless we destroy the drones themselves. Bugs
How many
boy,
drones are there?
the Themis data we wiped at Titus. Any chance you remember enough to retro-engineer a more suitable upgrade?
I'll do you one better. I can code a virus from the data itself.
Bagley, what in God's name possessed you to keep a copy of the project data?
I asked him to. No sense in just flushing data. Never know what might come in handy or what you might learn. So, how do we use it to infect the drones?
Albion's got a primary communications hub at Tower Bridge. Upload the virus there, fam, and all the
Fam.
drones get a dose.
Let's do it.
Also, I'm gonna turn up the game a little bit more. Is what I'll do to at least about there-ish, something like that. Anyway, yeah, I was letting that play out. But yeah, and that's not launched in India. It hasn't yet. I guess it hasn't been like worldwide yet. Is there like a release date there already? And scalpers are grabbing them up left and right, so it's nearly impossible to get one. Yep, and it's the same kind of thing that happened when the Switch when it released. I managed to get one of those on a release day without having a pre-order after I waited in line at an EB Games for like 9 hours for a midnight release. That was the longest I've ever waited in line for anything in my life. It was very interesting, to say the least. It was a very interesting experience. I'm glad I had like my 3DS along and stuff, and like there was other people who were there like to play games with while you were waiting for that to happen, like people playing Smash on 3DS and stuff like that. So that was interesting. But yeah, you have to import, and that charges more than $1,500. Jeez, yeah, that yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, when the PS5 was coming out, like there was a few other things coming out, and I basically was like, okay, with like oh, so that's spontaneous death, huh? Now we know what it's like.